like spine scratching and tapping, and that video will be coming later because I can do better than this. I'll just have a different setup and everything, but I gotta like get that organized. And the second was some like really sweet person who made my day, saying that they loved my book series video, that they binged it, and that they wanted more content of like me doing like book tapping and stuff. So here I am. The comment really motivated me. I was like, yeah, I will. And I have the means to do it because ever since the book series ended, I've gotten so many books you have no idea. And I've read so many too. Like I think I've read about half of the videos that I showed in part 1 and part 2, and about a third of the manga, which by the way, that manga video is super popular. I will link the book series video in the description. But yeah, I'm not really counting this as like a part 5 of the series because it's just, I've got like paperbacks, hardcovers, and a manga. It's just one manga, but I'm gonna show, you'll see why I'm showing it. So I think this is just gonna be like another video. I mean, this is definitely not the end of my like book tapping for this channel. I have a lot more planned. I'm gonna continue to buy books, so yeah. I'm gonna start with the books that I'm currently reading right now. Let's start with this one. This one's new. This one was calling out to me at Barnes & Noble, so I bought it, but I feel like my intuition might have been wrong because it's like good, but also weird. There, I'll explain. So this is called Love and Other Curses. Love and Other Curses. Love and Other Curses. I really like the cover of this book, and I love the title. I love this, like, Love and Other Curses. I don't know, it's like something in my brain really like ticks whenever I hear the title. And I like the cover, but I saw on Goodreads that this book used to have a different cover, and that cover looks even cooler. I really like the other one. So yeah, it's got like these rainbow popsicles. Popsicles. At the top it says, curses are meant to be broken. And it's got this like rainbow thing, basically rainbows everywhere, so you can assume that this is gonna be an LGBT book, and it is. And the reason why I say that it's weird is because a very common setting in this book is a drag queen bar. And if you don't know, when you go see a drag race, you're supposed to refer to the performers as she, her, like with she, her pronouns. And so this guy, even though he knows that, like the main character knows that and knows the etiquette, continues to use he, him pronouns for the performers, even though at some point the queens are like, use she, her pronouns. And the guy, like the main character, does when he's like speaking, but his narration, he'll like go back to using he, him pronouns, and I'm like, what? Why? Like, don't do that. Like, I know that it's in your head, but don't do that. There's also a trans character in here. And this trans character, like, the main character found out his dead name. And even though the main character, like, admits that he knows what being trans means, he continues to dead name this character in his narration. And like, I know that nobody can hear him dead name his friend, but still, why would the author include that? Like, it just, for people who don't know anything about being trans or queer or anything, this just kind of sets like a bad example. I don't know. I felt like uncomfortable with that, but he only did it once, and I was like, I don't know. He was only talking about like a trans concept, and so when he used the dead name, it made sense with what he was saying, but I still think that the author could have avoided saying it. I don't know. It's pretty it so far, though. I really like the world that the main character lives in, and the story is cool too. So basically, his name is Sam. That's the main character. Sam Wayward has a curse on his family where, like, if the people fall in love, like if the people in his family fall in love before their 17th birthday, the person that person is in love with will die. And so, like, you can imagine what happens. I'm not very far along into this book, so I don't really know what the ending is going to be. But yeah, that's what the book is centered on. So anyway, moving on. This is also, this is the manga that I am currently working through. I'm literally on page 2. This is Our Dining Table. It says, boys love cooked to perfection. This was in my manga video. The manga video is the most popular video on my channel. And for good reason. I think that there's not enough, like, tapping on manga gripping, and, like, just general anime rambling in the ASMR community. Like, just tapping on manga. I really dislike when people do like a book ASMR video, and they don't tap on like the literal object in their hand. They just talk about it. I've seen so many videos like that, and it makes me really angry. Like, legitimately, it like seriously pisses me off. How are you not gonna tap in an ASMR video? Like, I get if you're just making the video for like strictly whisper purposes, but I don't know if you're gonna do that. Maybe pick a different topic. I want to see you tap on the book and talk about it. So when I watch ASMR, I tend to opt for A, whispering or rambling of some sort, and B, literal triggers with the object that can make a trigger. I'm very passionate about that. It makes me so angry because I can't find good videos of ASMR of a certain topic because nobody makes sounds with the objects. Yeah. Anyway, this is the next book. That is actually not mine. This is the most recent book that I got because I took it from a friend's house. They let me. I've always wanted to read this book, and I didn't really want to go to the library and get it, but I also didn't want to buy it. So this friend, who literally never reads but has books in their bookshelf, let me take this. This is The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and she is the author of The Goldfinch, which I own. The author of The Goldfinch, Pulitzer Prize winner 2014, and this is an international bestseller. I've heard very good things about. Well, I've heard that this book is like a hit or miss with some people, but overall, I've heard that this is a lot of people's favorite book. And I think that the main character's name is Jude, and also, I don't know. I heard like a bunch of things about it, and I can't remember what I heard. But yeah, my name is in here. I think The Secret History. It's got like one of those Roman or Greek or whatever statues. It really, every time that I look at this book, it excites me because I think I really like how worn out it is already. And the fact that it's a paperback, it just makes me feel like this book is so homey. Like I can just dive right in and feel really good about it. I take very exquisite care of my books because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, I don't keep most of the books that I read. Like, I barely keep any of them. I would rather sell the books that I don't love for money, because I never have money. And I figure, like I read, I sell, I buy more books. It's a cycle. finishing the book, and I really like it. Well, I'm gonna keep it forever, so I want it to last forever. So I need to take good care of it. But if I want to sell it, you know, in order for me to sell something, it has to also be in pristine condition so that people will buy it and give me like the most money for it. So yeah, The Secret History. Truly deserving of the accolade, modern classic. Donna Tartt's novel is a remarkable achievement, both compelling and elegant, dramatic and playful. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I will read that eventually. I'm trying to get through all of my paperbacks because I'm almost done with like the entire collection of paperbacks that I own. And then I'm gonna work through like the super humongous hardcovers that I have. So, this is another new paperback that I recently got. This is Cersei. Cersei by Madeline Miller. And Madeline Miller is the literal goddess on earth who wrote Song of Achilles, which is tied for first place as my favorite book. It was in my paperback series, and back then I hadn't read it, but I read it shortly after I finished the series, and good Gandhi, it was so good. Go read Song of Achilles if you love books and like you think, oh well, I'm not really into Greek mythology. Don't even worry about it because Madeline Miller is such a good author that she introduces all of her characters as their own like brand new characters. She doesn't expect you to know anything about the mythology. It's so easy to like understand the story, and Song of Achilles is, oh my god, I can't even describe like the journey that my soul went through in that story. I'm not even exaggerating. It is so good. It is just so good. Like immediate 5-star rating for me. It made me sob, like cry, like literally break down, and I didn't recover. I'm still not completely over it. When I think about that book, it just, something in my heart shatters a little bit, but in a good way because the writing is so impeccable. So, of course, I had to support the queen and buy her other book, which is Cersei. And it's another Greek mythology thingy, but the thing is, I don't know who Cersei is. And there's a bunch of other people in here that I also don't know. Like, I know who Helios is, but I don't know anything about Helios. There's the Minotaur Daedalus, I think. Oh my god, Icarus is in here. Medea, I'm saying that right, I think. And Odysseus, don't know who those people are at all. I know who Icarus is, but I don't know anything about Icarus. I just know what Icarus did, which is fall from the sky or something. This cover is also really like alluring. It's all like coppery and stuff. Yeah. Okay, moving on because I got a lot more to go through. So I got this at the thrift store. I don't know if I really do plan to read it, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that somebody wrote this book and then bought it and then sold it. And now I have it. So this is The Secrets. Men. Keep. How men make life and love tougher than it has to be. And it is written by a dude. So I thought that it would just be interesting. I don't know. Like it just seems like a cool book. I'm gonna read the back of it for you. It says, every man has secrets, whether they are sinful or simply not in your best interest. Whether you wall them off or stuff them down deep, you are not alone. But as author Stephen Arterburn, warns, secrets secrets are also the most dangerous force within a man, so finding a way to deal with the unspoken fears and questions that threaten to undo you is among your most important tasks. That doesn't give me a single clue as to what this book is about. So let's open it up. Oh, the inside cover has a lot more info. So at the top it says, "From secrets to solutions." When I came to understand that I wasn't the only man with secrets, says author Stephen Arterburn, my interests were piqued to discover what other men were thinking about that they weren't telling anyone else. Out of a professional survey of 3,600 men came this book, which goes where no Christian author has gone before. Okay, plunging into hot button topics as what money means to men, how parental expectations affect a man throughout his life, the truth about the male ego, how men really feel about being a spiritual leader, what the heck, what worries them in their relationships with women, why success is a double-edged sword. Okay, I hope that this isn't like mainly a Christian book, because that's not why I bought it. If it is, I'll just drop it and like give it to the half-price books or something. Okay. Moving on. I have tapped on this book before, but it was just kind of like at the beginning of my video and really quickly, so I'm going to do it again. There is some sticky tapping for you. This book is called Yolk by Mary H.K. Joy. This is the YA Book Club exclusive edition. And I love the presentation of this book. I love the super bright yellow. I love the like completely white, like the rest of the details are completely white, and then this is like an orange yellow. I love that. I love this. There's like a woman falling here, and then there are their hands, and there's another woman falling here. So this book is about two sisters, and I think one gets cancer or something. But yeah, good job whoever designed this book, because this was the only reason why I bought it. And then I read about what it was, but yeah, I trust this. I trust books that have stickers on them. I know that that's like a marketing thing and it works. Okay. Let me see. Oh, look, there's more art on the inside cover. It's black and white this time. That's cool, though. She is the author that wrote Emergency Contact, Permanent Record, which I've seen around Barnes & Noble. Oh, there's this little blurb here that I'm going to read you. This is a work of fiction that mirrors aspects of my own history with disordered eating, dysmorphia, and bulimia. For those struggling with body image and food, this story might be emotionally expensive for you. Please be gentle with yourselves. Sensitivity is a superpower. And please know that there is no such thing as a bad body. Truly. Take up space. It is your birthright. That is so nice to hear. I struggle with eating disorders sometimes, so. That is such a good message. Okay, moving on. Move that over there. Okay. You have definitely heard about this if you're on BookTok, or if you because this has been all the rage lately. This is lore. This is another Greek mythology book. It is so popular that when I went to Barnes & Noble, there was none of the copies of this were on the shelves or the displays or anything. I had to ask a lady who went to go check at the back of their store and found only 2 copies were left. And I instantly bought this, and I was like, there's absolutely no way that I am letting this buy. Oh, down here it says bind your fate to mine, but lore is... Here, let me read this part. So, this says, you may deny the fates, but they will not deny you. Fighting them will not save you from what is ahead. And there's this little, like, sticker or something. It's got a woman with snakes on her head, which I am guessing is about Medusa or something. No, it's not. Medusa's name is not in this. But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with, like, does Medusa have, like, sisters or something? Maybe it's about that. I don't know. I love how, like, Greek mythology authors will pick a very specific tiny story of Greek mythology and just make a whole novel out of it. So yeah, there's this woman. I just noticed that she has one real eye, and this eye is, like, not there. That's cool. But yeah, I love how it's, like, all white. Actually, let's look at this really fast. This is an all-white book, and then on the inside, accented in gold, is this huge map. I love books with maps. You know it's gonna hit hard when it has a map. Okay. This book I have already read, but it is new. You have not seen this before. Unless you're on, again, BookTok, Book YouTube, then you have. Before I deleted TikTok, this was all the rage. And I saw it at the bookstore, and I wasn't going to buy it, but then I did, and it is the best decision that I've ever made. This is a book that I will keep forever. It made it. It's called Legend Born. Legend Born. There is this beautiful young woman with her nice hair and, like, fiery magic power or something coming off of her arms. And there's this sticker that is, this is the Coretta Scott King Award. And up here it says peace, nonviolent social change, and brotherhood. This book, oh my god, please go buy it. Like, if you're into fantasy, even if you're not into fantasy, if you're just into good literature, this is it. You have found the book for you. Like, how do I describe it? It's like, the sticker about nonviolent social change is really accurate to what the book is about, on top of being an exquisitely explained fantasy book. There is a plane. I am so sorry if it's loud. It's like this, it's like Arthurian lore, and it has a bunch of jargon and, like, rules to the fantasy, you know, as most fantasy books do. But on top of that, it also is great for, like, knowing about issues that Black people face on the daily, like, truly getting in the perspective of what it's like to face racism as a Black person specifically, because you know, King Arthur and all of that lore, most of it is surrounded around white people and white people only. So this, like, this Black woman comes into the scene and just, like, changes everything, and the characters are so rich and thorough, every single one. There is so much representation, so much trans representation, queer representation. I can't even, like, begin to describe how good this book was. I don't have faith in fantasy books. Like, I don't really trust them to deliver, because making a whole fantasy world is so difficult that not a lot of people get it right. But Tracy got it right. You go, Tracy. You did it. This was insane, and I don't even know how she fits so much much into this book. I know that it's big, but like for the amount of things that happened, I was really surprised. Okay, last book is this thing. It is enormous. It is the biggest book that I will ever own in my whole life. And no, I did not buy this. I would never do that to myself. This is a gift. And the person who gave this to me won't see it. So I can once again reiterate that I do not like it when people give me books. I find that it is just kind of like, if you don't know what my style of book is, and if I've never specifically asked for the book, I probably don't want it. And like, it was very nice of them to get me this gift, but it feels like when people get me books as gifts, they're imposing on me, because then I have to read the book, because they will later ask me what it was about. And if I say, oh, I haven't read it yet, then like I look really rude, and like this person will never see this video, so I can say that freely. But yeah, it's just like, dude, what the heck? I don't want to read this. I mean, I will read it because I did some research, and obviously Ursula K. Le Guin, I think, is like a really popular author, and the Books of Earthsea is a really popular series, so I'm going to read it because these are like classics. But I would like, it's kind of like a forced choice. Like I wouldn't have chosen to do this. Now that I own it, I figured I might as well, take advantage of it. But I wouldn't have to be put in this position. It had a bunch of illustrations throughout this entire thing, and I think that's what makes the book so long. And also just the fact that the font is really tiny. The font is tiny. I think it's definitely the illustrations that make it so long, because this is about 900 something pages, and I'll make it through eventually. I obviously cannot take this to college or anything, or put it in my backpack, because it weighs like 10 pounds. So yeah, the only book that I've ever appreciated that somebody got me is the one that my best friend gave me, because that book was the autobiography of Elton John, and it was actually good. Because like, my best friend knows what I like, but this person did not. I know that I sound really ungrateful, but you don't know the backstory. If you knew, you'd understand. But yeah, I'm gonna end up reading this story anyway. It's like a fantasy book. I legitimately hope that it's good. Like, I'm rooting for this book, because I don't want it to like end up kind of wasting my time. Like, the last book that I read was really such a waste of time, and I told myself I wasn't gonna read it, but I decided to give it a chance, and it ended up disappointing me. But yeah, this is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Go check out my book series if you like talking about books or listening about books and book triggers and stuff. My manga video is super popular, so if you like to talk about anime, I got that. I got some spirituality books and theater plays in the last video, part 4. And I will be posting